Welcome to Money Deep Dive, the podcast where we go beyond the basics and make personal finance simple, clear, and actionable. Each episode, we dive into the money topics that actually impact your life. Saving smarter, investing wisely, and building real financial freedom. And guiding you through it all are your hosts, Luke and Emma, money experts who break it down without the fluff, the jargon, or the confusion. Just real talk, real strategies, and real results. So, let's get into it.
Okay, be honest. How many of us get paid and feel rich for about 5 minutes? That's like P.O. Con. Where did it all go?
Well, that's what we're going to unpack today, the idea of taking control of our finances so we can stop just surviving and start thriving.
Yeah, thriving. I like that. If this sounds like something you need in your life, hit that subscribe button.
We've all heard that money can't buy you happiness thing, but let's be real, financial stress can sure suck the joy out of anything.
True that.
And one of the biggest culprits is mental accounting.
Okay, mental accounting. What's that all about?
Well, it's a trap where we mentally categorize our money in a way that just doesn't line up with reality.
Oh, okay.
So, think about getting a tax refund.
Oh, yeah.
It can feel like free money, right?
It does, like time for a new TV or vacation.
Exactly. But that's the trap.
Okay, gotcha.
It stops us from seeing the big picture and making smart decisions about our money.
So how do we escape that trap?
A clear, concrete budget.
Like really tracking everything?
Everything. Like a spreadsheet tracking every dollar.
That sounds scary.
It doesn't have to be. It starts with figuring out your financial baseline.
Baseline.
Yeah, think of it as your survival budget, the bare minimum you need every single month for the essentials.
Got it. Like the non-negotiables.
Right. Housing, food, transportation, utilities, insurance, all that. Aim for housing to be no more than 30% of your income, food around 10%, and essentials like utilities and insurance, another 10%.
So someone making $4,000 a month, they're looking at $1,200 for housing, $400 for groceries, another $400 for bills. That's $2,000. And we haven't even gotten to things like transportation or, any debt they might have.
Exactly. That's where it can get tricky. But having that baseline, that's how you start seeing where maybe you can cut back on some of the non-essential.
Like that daily latte.
Or subscriptions you never use. Maybe that gym membership that's just gathering dust.
It's about being honest, right? Seeing where we can maybe free up some cash.
Yeah. You start tracking, and it's amazing how much more aware you become of your spending. It can be a real eye-opener.
Whoa. I remember when I first started tracking, I was like, whoa, where's all my money going?
Okay, so we've got our baseline. We see where we can maybe cut back. What's next?
Let's hear it.
Building a financial safety net, an emergency fund.
Right, the emergency fund. It's easy to put off, like that'll never happen to me.
I used to think that too until I got into a car accident when I was younger. Just a fender bender, nothing crazy, but the repairs, couple $1,000.
Oof, that's rough.
Yeah, I was so grateful I had that emergency fund. Otherwise, straight to the credit card, more debt. Not good.
That's a perfect example of why it's so important. Life just throws curveballs, gotta be ready.
Your emergency fund is your peace of mind. You can handle anything without totally messing up your finances.
Okay, so how much are we talking? Any magic number for that emergency fund?
At least 3 to 6 months of your financial baseline saved up. So if your baseline is $2,000 a month, aim for $6,000 to $12,000 in that emergency fund.
Yeah, it can feel a bit daunting when you're starting out, but it's a marathon, right? Even small, consistent contributions add up.
Definitely. And once you build it up, you can relax knowing you're prepared for whatever life throws at you.
All right, baseline established, emergency funds growing. What's next on the road to financial freedom?
Well, now it's time to face the elephant in the room. High interest debt.
Ugh, debt. It's like we know it's there, but we try not to think about it too much.
Yeah, but ignoring it, that doesn't make it go away. In fact, it usually makes it worse. Especially that high interest debt. It's like this anchor dragging you down, making it so much harder to reach your goals.
It's like trying to run a race with like a 50-pound weight strapped to your back. You might finish, but it's going to be a whole lot harder.
Exactly. And that debt, it just keeps getting heavier the longer you carry it around because of interest.
Okay, remind me again how interest works. It's one of those things I kind of zone out when people start talking about.
So think of interest as the price you pay for borrowing money. When you've got a credit card balance or a loan, you're basically paying the lender a fee to use their money. And the higher the interest rate, the more expensive that fee gets.
So say you've got a credit card balance of, let's say, $6,500 with a 20% interest rate.
Yeah.
Yikes. If you're only making those minimum payments, it could take you forever to pay it off, and you'll end up paying thousands extra just in interest.
Yeah, that's how it can snowball out of control. But the good news is there are ways to tackle it. Proven strategies to help you get back on track.
Okay, let's break it down. What about those Avalanche and Snowball methods I hear about?
Those are two popular ways to prioritize paying off your debt. So the Avalanche method, that one focuses on the debt with the highest interest rate first. It saves you the most money overall because you're minimizing the amount of interest you're racking up.
Makes sense, right? Attack the one costing you the most. But I've heard the Snowball method can be really motivating, even if it might not be the best mathematically.
Right. With the Snowball, you focus on paying off the smallest debt first, no matter the interest rate. Might not save you as much on interest, but it can give you that sense of accomplishment as you see those debts disappear.
Yeah, it's all about what keeps you motivated. Some people, it's logic and numbers. Others, they need those quick wins to stay on track.
Exactly. And here's a tip, no matter which method you choose. Visualize your progress. Make a spreadsheet. Use a debt tracking app. Whatever helps you actually see how much you're paying down each month.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Watching those numbers go down, it's like, yes, I'm making progress. I'm going to be debt-free.
And speaking of goals, once you've tackled that high-interest debt, it's time to shift gears and think about building long-term wealth through investing.
Investing is one of those things that can seem, I don't know, kind of intimidating, like something only rich people do.
That's a really common misconception. Investing, it's not just for the elite. It's a crucial tool for anyone who wants to build that financial security and reach their long-term goals.
Okay, I'm starting to see it. But where do you even start? There's so many options: stocks, bonds, mutual funds, real estate. It's overwhelming.
It can be, for sure. But the key is starting with the basics and building up your knowledge and confidence.
All right, so basics. What are the fundamental principles of investing that everyone should know?
One of the most important, compound interest. People call it the eighth wonder of the world. And for good reason. It's the idea that your money earns interest on the interest it's already earned. Exponential growth over time.
So it's like, what, a snowball rolling down a hill, getting bigger and bigger?
Exactly. The sooner you start, the more time your money has to compound and the bigger your potential returns. Even small, consistent investments can really grow, thanks to the magic of compound interest.
That's pretty incredible. Makes it clear why starting early is so important, even if you can only invest a little each month.
Absolutely. Another key principle is diversification. You don't want to put all your eggs in one basket, right?
Makes sense.
Instead, spread your investments across different asset classes like stocks, bonds, real estate. Reduces your risk.
So it's like a balanced diet for your investments. You need a mix to stay healthy and, weather any storms that might come along.
Perfect analogy. Diversification, it's one of the most effective ways to manage risk and protect those investments over the long haul.
Okay, we've got compound interest and diversification. What else should we keep in mind when it comes to investing?
Another big one is risk tolerance. How much risk are you comfortable with?
Yeah, that makes sense.
It depends on your age, goals, and how comfortable you are with the market going up and down.
Right, so someone younger, they might be okay with more risk because they have more time to recover from any losses.
Exactly. And someone closer to retirement, they might want a more conservative approach, focusing on keeping their money safe and getting a steady income.
It's all about finding that balance, right? The right level of risk and reward for you.
You got it. Investing, it's not one size fits all. You got to create a strategy that works for you and helps you reach your goals.
This is all great info, but I got to be honest, I'm still feeling a bit overwhelmed. How do we actually go about choosing specific investments?
That's where things can get a bit more complex. Talking to a financial advisor can be helpful, but there are also tons of resources online and in libraries to help you learn about different options.
So do your research, understand the risks and potential rewards, make informed decisions based on your own situation.
Exactly. And remember, it's a journey, not a destination. Stay informed, be patient, adjust as you go.
This has been an amazing dive into the world of investing. I feel like we've covered so much, from compound interest to diversification, to risk tolerance.
Glad you found it helpful. Just remember, it doesn't have to be scary. Take your time, learn, come up with a plan, and you can use the power of the markets to build wealth and reach your goals.
Now, before you move on, quick reminder, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on more episodes just like this, packed with insults.
We're just getting started. We've got so much more valuable info to share.
Speaking of valuable info, our next topic might surprise you. We're shifting gears and talking about something that's often overlooked in financial planning: time.
Yeah, might seem odd to talk about time in a discussion about money, but they're more connected than you think.
Okay, you've got me curious. How does time play into our financial well-being?
Time, it's our most valuable resource, right? We can't get it back, but so often we treat it like it's endless, wasting it on things we hate or stuff that doesn't really bring us joy.
Oh, tell me about it. So many hours I've spent mindlessly scrolling or binge-watching shows I didn't even really like.
We've all been there. But here's the thing. If we start being more mindful of how we use our time, we can actually free up more of it for the things that matter. Passions, relationships, even our finances.
So it's about taking back our time, being intentional with how we spend those precious hours.
Exactly. And that ties into a big economic principle called opportunity costs.
Okay, opportunity cost. Another one of those terms that makes my brain freeze up a little. Can you break it down?
It's the idea that every choice has a trade-off. When you do one thing, you're choosing not to do something else. And the value of that something else is your opportunity cost.
So, like, if I spend an hour watching TV, the opportunity cost is an hour I could spend working on a side project or learning a new skill.
Exactly. That's where it connects to our finances. When we're aware of our opportunity cost, we can start making choices that help us reach our money goals and, maximize how much we can earn.
So instead of doom scrolling, we could be using that time to earn money or learn something that could make us more money later.
Exactly. We need to shift our thinking. Time isn't just something we spend, it's something we invest.
Love that. Just like we invest our money, we invest our time.
Right. And that leads us to a concept that can really change things. Buying back your time.
Buying back our time. Are we talking about time travel here?
Not quite. It's about being strategic. Outsourcing tasks that drain our time and energy so we can free up more time for things that bring us joy, improve our well-being, or even, make us more money.
Okay, I'm seeing it. Like hiring a cleaning service, getting groceries delivered, outsourcing all those admin tasks that bog us down.
Right. It might feel weird to spend money to save time, but it can be a great investment, especially if it lets you focus on things that bring in more money or make your life better.
It's about realizing our time is valuable. We're not robots who can just work nonstop without recharging. We need time to rest, relax, do things that nourish our souls.
You got it. Outsourcing those draining tasks frees up space for those important things.
Okay, I'm sold on buying back our time. But how do we figure out which tasks are worth outsourcing?
Start by listing everything you do each week. Then pick out the ones you absolutely dread. The energy vampires, the joy stealers.
For me, it's cleaning the bathroom. My least favorite chore. And it always takes forever.
That's a classic one. Super easy to outsource. How much time do you spend on it each week?
Probably like an hour and a half.
Let's say you could be earning $30 an hour doing something else. That's $45 of potential income you're losing by cleaning the bathroom.
Wow. Yeah, when you put it like that, suddenly a cleaning service sounds way more appealing.
It's all about perspective, recognizing what your time is worth. Another big one is lawn care.
Oh, yeah. I know people who practically live on their riding mowers all summer.
Time-consuming chore, easy to outsource. Hiring someone not only frees up your weekends, but they often do a much better job.
Totally. Okay, so what about other tasks? Any I's that people often forget about when it comes to outsourcing?
Grocery shopping.
Right.
It can take hours each week, especially with driving.
Ugh, yes. And then there's the whole decision fatigue thing. By the time I'm at checkout, I'm so overwhelmed, I end up buying junk I don't need or forgetting the important stuff.
That's where those grocery delivery services come in. Make your list online, pick a delivery time, and boom, groceries at your door.
So convenient. And it stops those impulse buys that can really mess up a budget.
Exactly. And you can outsource so much these days. Meal prep, laundry, errands, even dog walking. Find what's sucking your time and energy and find a way to delegate it.
This is really eye-opening. Outsourcing can be so powerful. More time, less stress, maybe even more productive.
It's about making choices about how you use your time and realizing your time has value.
Not just being lazy, it's strategic. Using your time for what really matters.
Exactly. And that leads us to the final step in our financial routine. Automation. Technology becomes your best friend.
Now, bring on the automation. How does that work?
It's all about using tech to simplify your financial life and make it easier to reach your goals. Like having a personal finance assistant working for you 24/7.
Sounds amazing. So what do we automate?
Well, first, make sure your paycheck goes straight into your checking account. No more wasting time depositing checks.
Makes sense. Who wants to stand in line at the bank these days?
Right. Next, automate those transfers to your savings and investing accounts.
So set up regular transfers to move some of our paycheck into savings and investments.
Exactly. It keeps you saving and investing consistently, even when you're busy or tempted to spend that money.
Pay yourself first. Make sure those financial goals are covered before anything else. What about bills?
Automate those too. Most companies have online bill pay. Set it up for rent, utilities, credit cards, everything.
No more scrambling to pay bills on time or racking up late fees. This is a lifesaver.
Right. And it doesn't stop there. You can automate donations, contributions to your retirement, even saving for things like a house or a dream vacation.
So much time and energy saved by automating all that. It's like putting our financial lives on autopilot. More time for the good stuff.
It's all about creating systems and habits that support your financial well-being. Less time worrying about money, more time enjoying life.
I'm loving all this. It's like taking all the best financial advice and making it something anyone can actually do.
And you don't have to be a tech expert to do it. Most banks have online tools that can help you set it all up.
This is so empowering. It's about taking control, making smart decisions, building a future where we can reach our dreams and live life on our own terms.
And remember, it's not about being perfect, it's about making progress. Start small, try different tools, see what works for you.
This has been an awesome journey through the 8 steps to building a solid financial routine. From our financial baseline to the power of automation.
Glad you found it helpful. Financial well-being, it's a journey. It's about making choices, building habits, creating a life of abundance and fulfillment.
Before we wrap up, I want to say, find joy in this process. It's not about deprivation or constantly stressing about money. It's about making choices that line up with your values, building a life you love.
So important. It's about freedom, purpose, and joy.
Yeah, building a life you love. That's what it's all about. And that brings us to our final thoughts for this deep dive. We've talked about all the steps, the strategies, the tools. But what's it actually like to live with financial freedom? You know, when money's not this constant weight on your shoulders.
You know, it's funny. Financial freedom, it's not the same for everyone. It means different things to different people. For some, it might be traveling the world without stressing about the cost. For others, it might be quitting their job to chase a passion project.
I think a lot of people, they just want choices.
Yeah.
You know, to say yes to the things that light them up and no to things that drain them, don't fit their values.
Imagine waking up every day excited for what's ahead, knowing you've got the resources to support your dreams and goals.
I love that. It's like shifting your mindset from scarcity to abundance, believing there's enough out there that we all deserve a life filled with joy and fulfillment.
And remember, it's not just about having a ton of money. It's about using it to build a life that reflects your values and brings you genuine happiness.
So not about the fancy car or bigger house just to show off. It's about investing in experiences, relationships, the things that truly matter.
Exactly. Spending your money on what brings you joy and fulfillment, whether that's travel, hobbies, or supporting causes you believe in.
It's important to remember, too, that financial freedom, it's a journey, not a destination. There's going to be ups and downs, surprise expenses. The market's going to do its thing.
You're absolutely right. It's about focusing on those long-term goals, staying informed, and adjusting as you go.
Being flexible, rolling with the punches, not letting setbacks throw you completely off track.
And you don't have to do it all alone. So many resources out there to help. Financial advisors, online communities, books, even podcasts like this one.
Speaking of podcasts, if you've enjoyed this deep dive and want more, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and you won't miss a single episode.
We've got so much more to explore, not just finances, but all sorts of ways to help you level up your life.
And on that note, one last thought for you to chew on as you continue your financial journey. If you could reach financial freedom today, what would you change? What dreams would you chase? What impact would you have on the world? Hold on to that vision and let it guide your actions.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Financial freedom, it's within reach. Take action today. Build a life you truly love.
That's all for this episode of The Deep Dive. We'll see you next time.